The book of Genesis speaks of a river that flows out of Eden, dividing into 4 tributaries: Pison, Gihon, Hiddekel, and Euphrates. The Hiddekel flows east of Assyria, while the Tigris defined the western border of Assyria in Bible times. However, the modern Tigris and Euphrates originate from rainfall, which, according to Genesis chapter 2:5, did not exist before the flood. This has led many to wonder about the location of Eden and the reality of the other 2 rivers. Could they be remnants of a world reshaped by a global flood? Recent oceanographic discoveries offer a compelling possibility. Deep beneath the waves, hidden from our sight, flow immense rivers of cold, dense water. Originating from the mid-Atlantic ridge, these underwater currents dwarf even the mightiest rivers on land. Could these be the lost rivers of Eden? The mid-Atlantic ridge is a vast underwater mountain range, a place where the water flows on the bottom of the ocean floor encompassing the planet. A place where the Earth's tectonic plates pull apart. Here, in the depths of the ocean, superheated water spews from hydrothermal vents, creating powerful currents that flow for thousands of miles. These hidden rivers, invisible to the naked eye, carve channels into the ocean floor and influence the global climate. Genesis describes the Gihon River as flowing around the land of Cush, often associated with Africa. While the exact location of Cush is debated, some believe it encompassed Africa, rich in these resources. Could the Pison River be a massive underwater current originating from the mid-Atlantic ridge? Imagine this. The current travels northward along the west coast of North America, carrying minerals and sediments. It then flows towards Russia and Japan, eventually splitting around the Philippines. This immense underwater river would indeed encircle a vast area, potentially corresponding to the biblical description of Havilah? This is a very interesting question. The Philippines leads the world in historic resources from Genesis chapter 2, including gold, pearl, and the onyx stone. It's a mammoth-sized river which has conceptualized its own most interesting features: Gihon, Hiddekel, and Parat. The ridge and trench system, affirmed by NASA and National Geographic's mapping of the ocean floor, matches the geographic markers of Genesis 2. But what about the Gihon? Some theorize that the Gihon could be a deep ocean current encircling Africa. This current, originating from the South Atlantic portion of the Mid-Atlantic ridge, would have flowed around the African continent, influencing its climate and marine life. The Hiddekel, identified with the ridge and trench system, could have been a tributary of this massive current, branching off towards the Persian Gulf. The Parat, diverging from the southern extremity of the Mid-Atlantic ridge, traveled westward up the coast of South America into North America. This current interacting with the Gihon would have created a complex system of underwater rivers, shaping the ancient world in ways we are only beginning to understand. According to the book of 2 Esdras 6:42, before the flood, the earth was only 1/7 water, or about 15%. This drastically different landscape would have influenced the formation and flow of these ancient rivers. The Garden of Eden was never located above the Earth's crust on our surface. It was always within the earth, under the region of the modern Philippines. This is why the word garden, or gan in Hebrew, also means enclosure. There is only one entrance to the garden, according to Genesis 3. The Mid-Atlantic ridge is part of the 60,000-kilometer mid-ocean ridge. Though there are mountains on the side, one would never logically define that as a mountain range, but the 60,000-kilometer-long river in the center. Expert sedimentologist Dr. Dan Parsons, with the University of Hull in the UK at the time, told BBC Media, "If you drained all the water away, it would look exactly like a river system, with bends and meanders." The Philippines fits the biblical description of the Pison. Cush is not associated with the Pison, but the Gihon. Section 4. A world submerged, reimagining the pre-flood Earth. If these massive underwater currents were once even more prominent, it suggests a dramatically different pre-flood world. Imagine a world where the ocean floor was shallower, with less water covering the Earth's surface. Some researchers estimate that pre-flood water levels may have been only 15% of what they are today. In this scenario, the mid-oceanic ridge, with its erupting volcanoes and powerful currents, would have been a defining feature of the planet. With shallower seas would have been directly influenced by these immense underwater rivers. The Pison, Gihon, Hiddekel and Euphrates, instead of being confined to the ocean depths, would have played a much more active role in shaping the land and supporting life. This perspective offers a new understanding of the Genesis account. The Garden of the Pison, the Garden of Eden, watered by these 4 rivers, may have been located on a continent significantly different from our own, shaped by the powerful forces of the deep. Section 5. Titanic waterfalls, the unseen majesty of the deep. The scale of these underwater rivers is difficult to comprehend. Imagine titanic waterfalls cascading not through air but through layers of ocean water. These currents, driven by differences in temperature and salinity, carry more water than all the rivers on land combined. Their power shapes the ocean floor, carves canyons, and transports nutrients across vast distances. They influence the migration of marine life, the distribution of heat, and the very air we breathe. These hidden rivers, invisible to our eyes, are a testament to the awe-inspiring forces that shape our planet. As we continue to explore the depths of our oceans, we are discovering a world far more different. A world more complex and dynamic than we ever imagined. The lost rivers of Eden, once dismissed as myth, may hold the key to understanding the Earth's ancient past and the interconnectedness of all life on our planet. Lastly, science has discovered the biblical fountains of the Great Deep. They are called hydrothermal vents, and they exist only within the ridge and trench system on the bottom of the ocean floor, which are the rivers from Eden.